Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rival Takes podcast. I am your host, Josh Barnett, and join with me, as always, James Baldwin. And we want to kind of welcome you in here for our podcast today. And we actually have a lot to talk about. So, day one and two now are both done of the NFL free agency. So, there's a lot to talk about. But to start, we're going to go through our three biggest winners and then our three biggest losers. So I guess like I'll kind of bring one up, and then James will kind of tell me what he thinks about winner, loser, whatnot. So I'll say I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna say the Raiders. Now, obviously, some news just broke about Maxx Crosby, which we will discuss after we give you our three biggest winners and losers. But for me, I'm gonna say that the Raiders are one of my three biggest winners so far. I mean, they're really going out of their way to spend a lot of this free agent, like money on free agents, like bringing in two new inside linebackers, bringing in a new center, like we're doing all this stuff, kind of build around this team, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think at least right now they're the obvious winners.
Mhm.
Um, they technically got Max Crosby back, and maybe he'll want to stay now because they've been signing everybody, and they might be really good. And they're gonna draft Fernando Mendoza in 2 months. So, but yeah, in terms of free agency, for sure, definitely winners. Tyler Linderbaum, super good. Um, Clay Walker, yeah. Kobe Dean, so many good acquisitions. It's going to be interesting. The AFC West, that's,
Yeah,
I think, easily the best division now for, yeah.
yeah. Well, my second biggest winner is also in the AFC West with the Chiefs. I mean, interesting offseason so far with getting rid of McDuffie, letting Jalen Watson go, but then they bring in the Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. Like, wow.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I thought Kenneth Walker was going to go back to the Seahawks. Obviously, I was wrong. Um, but yeah, Chiefs, they finally have a weapon for Mahomes. Their first one since like Tyreek Hill, it seems like, other than Travis Kelsey, which
They did bring back two, so
yeah, but he's fallen off the past few years.
yeah.
But the Chiefs are dangerous. Now they have two Super Bowl MVPs on their team. I mean, they still might be. No, the Raiders are the worst team in the division, but they still might be like the third worst team in the division just by like roster, at least going into next year. But they're still super good at. They'll probably make the playoffs. Although Mahomes, oh, he won't play the first half of the year, will he?
That's true.
So
It'll still be interesting, but I think getting Kenneth Walker there
that for
is
sure helps.
helps supplement that for a little bit for sure. Having a running game, make it
Yeah.
easier on the backup quarterback is definitely worth too. And I guess my last winner might be a little shocking is the Jets. I mean, they haven't been doing like a bunch of kind of flashy stuff, like bringing Geno Smith is kind of like a let's go have a guy who can help us get, to get Arch. But like getting Minka, like for a couple years, bringing back Demario Davis, like they're kind of getting some older guys in that defense, but they're still good. I mean, they can still play. So definitely interesting to see kind of kind of how they pivot here. But Geno Smith is kind of the right guy to, I think, get Garrett Wilson the ball and hand the ball to Brees Hall. Like he's gonna do. When he was with the Raiders, in my opinion, I mean, they were like the worst team in the league for a reason. He was part of it, but he wasn't all of it. And then he's gonna go to definitely not a good team, but they're not trying to win right now, I don't think. But they're getting the pieces, so in 2 years, 3 years, maybe they can kind of have a good kind of maybe age defense. But they can still kind of bring Arch Manning or Dante Moore into that and then succeed from there. So I think they've actually had a pretty good offseason or free agency.
Yeah, sneaky good. I mean, we all know their defense was terrible last year, and they're definitely trying to fix it. Um, I don't think they can be contenders with Justin Fields or Geno Smith, whoever they're going to
No,
use. Um, I mean, they might win like 5 games,
yeah,
6, but they're definitely looking for the future because most of these guys will be there next year too. So when they have Arch or whoever they'll end up getting. Who'd they get? They got Minka. Yeah, he's super good. Demario Davis, even though he's like,
Maybe
I feel
four,
like,
maybe.
yeah, I mean, he's aging, but he's still good. He was
Hmm.
just on the Saints, so like nobody was talking about him because the Saints.
Yeah.
Kingsley, Ian Harbe.
In a bar, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not
And they
like
dressed.
super terrible.
He was like okay, like kind of situational pass rusher for the Packers. But I
Yeah.
think they gave him like prove it money. So, I mean, be a situational guy. So I
I
was like,
mean, I mean, for it's looking good for 2027 because there's another whole free agency after next year, so they could sign a
yeah,
lot more guys. So
hmm,
Jets kind of feeling optimistic somehow.
yeah, a lot of firsts too. So a lot of draft capital in upcoming years as well.
Yeah.
Now, for my biggest loser, one of my three, I guess, the Ravens. Now, obviously, they had this Max Crosby thing, which we'll talk about later. But besides that, they have done next to nothing.
Um. Yeah.
The let Isaiah likely go. They haven't addressed anything major, right? Like they didn't sign a big wide receiver. My guess is they wait till the draft, but they haven't done it yet. So it's like they've kind of just been sitting on the ball.
I mean, yeah. They were argue. You could argue that they were one of the winners of free agency when that Max Crosby trade
Yeah,
happened. Like just that move alone, but outside of that, they've literally done nothing.
yeah.
So,
So I mean, you can't put them as a winner. Like they haven't done anything. They've objectively been one of the more lazy teams. So
I
that's
mean,
why I miss losing.
a lot of them did go to the Giants to follow Harbaugh, it seems like.
Yeah,
So that might be a little bit of it, but they could still sign other people. For sure, one of the biggest losers so far.
yeah. See, also the Broncos. I mean, have I don't think they have done anything of substance yet. So I mean, as free agency goes, they've been.
Yeah.
I'd argue they're a loser as of right now.
Yeah. For a team that was on the cusp of a Super Bowl, they've done absolutely nothing. They've like re signed a few players. They re signed Alex Singleton, which is good and important, but outside of that, they haven't really done much.
Yeah, definitely haven't made any splashes yet. And then my last one is the Falcons. Bringing in Tua as your major, your biggest move when you already had a quarterback, who granted, is going to be hurt. I just don't like it because Tua's not. It's not that guy, you know.
Yeah. I feel like whatever team ended up signing Tua was going to be on the losers because I just don't really see an upside anymore.
Hmm.
I mean, the Falcons, they still have Michael Penix. I think I would go with Michael Penix over Tua, honestly.
I mean, he's younger and he's got more potential. Like you know what Tua is. You can maybe develop Penix still, even though he is older.
They both kind of have injury histories, but
Yeah, I just didn't see the.
Falcons, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it just didn't
They
seem like
still
the
have
way.
Kirk Cousins too.
God, what an expensive quarterback room. I
Yeah,
mean,
holy
the
cow.
Dolphins are paying 100 million for Tua, so I guess the Falcons aren't paying insane amount, but they're still paying Kirk Cousins a bunch of money. Um, Michael Penix is going to demand a lot of money in 2 years. Like it's
Yeah.
such a weird, aging, expensive quarterback room, and it's not all that good. So that move just didn't make a ton of sense to me. Would they have been better off signing Kyler? I don't know. That's a debate, but I just don't know if Tua was the right answer to go after. You know,
And may I just say that during the segment, Italy has scored 3 runs against the USA and they're winning 3-0.
wow. Also, why is the World Baseball Classic scheduling a game at 8 p.m. to 11 Central Time? Also, why? Why are we doing that, World Baseball Classic?
Why are we
Weirdly.
doing this podcast at 8:30 at night? So
Uh,
normally we do them during the day, but
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe it's not on the World Baseball Classic. Maybe it's on us. But
true.
well, yeah, we'll give you some updates throughout as our live reactions. I guess let's kind of, I guess, talk about this Max Crosby. saga.
Yeah.
So traded before free agency to the Ravens. But again, this is not official yet because it is not the league new year yet. So this is not official. So it can be offers can be rescinded. So can trades. So I sent him there and everything was fine until it came out today that he had failed his physical, which physicals are subjective for every team. But what happened is they kind of saw had a report about his knee, right, which had been kind of hurting him. Um, and it was bad. It was not what they wanted. Fun fact: Max Crosby has played the 15th most amount of snaps since entering the league,
Wow.
most of any edge rusher. He has played 100% of the snaps in like 12 games. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and he's not like a rookie, so he's got a lot of mileage on his lower body because he's in a 3-point stance all the time. So like it makes sense that the Ravens are kind of like, I want to check into that, and apparently he didn't meet their standards. So like that's kind of why. That's how I'm going to contextualize kind of why. And now let's talk about the repercussions of this, right? Like the Raiders went out in free agency, assuming that this trade had already been through, and they had shipped a lot of his cap space off, right? He has a cap hit of like 30 million this year. And then they went out and signed a lot of people, which means when he comes back, they're going to be well over the cap. So, like, I mean, like, if you're the Raiders, what do you do here? Right.
Yeah. I don't know. This was definitely a surprise.
Yeah.
Only happened like 1 or 2 hours ago. Um, I've kind of felt like maybe I just wasn't paying attention like before, but I feel like a lot of people have been failing their physicals lately.
Yeah.
Like Carlos Correa failed it twice in free agency.
Which is crazy in
Yeah.
and of itself.
And then that Lions offensive lineman who like wanted to come out of retirement, he failed his physical. And now Maxx Crosby did. I mean, it's like an epidemic almost, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow's probably happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if Maxx Crosby, like I said earlier, if the Raiders will want to keep him somehow.
Yeah. Kind of move stuff around, maybe,
Yeah.
cut some
Or
other people or whatever, whatnot.
maybe the Bears will
Make it, yeah,
probably,
try. I mean,
yeah.
I think I definitely see Dallas trying to make something happen too. Um, if it was not Jerry controlling the team, it would definitely, I could definitely see the Cowboys in there a lot more. But since
Yeah.
it is Jerry, I don't know what's going on. But Trey Hendrickson, the stud edge rusher from the Bengals, he might also be on the move now. The Ravens might kind of try to pivot to that now with all this going on, with not being able to get Maxx Crosby. So that's also something to keep your eye on. But I mean, it's just so weird. Like, they went out with this with presuming that Maxx Crosby, they're getting these two draft picks back for him, like, this next year, and then it's not through, and then you have to reevaluate how you're going about your whole team, like free agency. So it's definitely you're definitely seeing this a lot more now with the failed physicals and whatnot. But I don't know if I've ever seen a trade get rescinded like this
Yeah.
during free agency. I feel like this is just unheard of.
Yeah. Especially with like one of the top linemen, defensive linemen in the game right now.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah, something I never would have seen coming, honestly.
yeah, it's just absolutely mind-boggling to see what happened. But I guess let's kind of switch back to World Baseball Classic, obviously. So game is still happening, still 3-0.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess James is kind of our baseball expert. I don't know if you knew this. He's insanely smart about baseball. So I guess just kind of can you walk through kind of what's happening, what's been going on, and what teams are getting hot.
Um, maybe this will be a bad take in like a few hours, but the USA has been pretty dominant.
Yeah, we'll see. Oof.
They did take on Brazil and Great Britain, and those two teams were not good. So maybe it's just that because they did only win 5-3 against Mexico, but they were winning like kind of the whole game.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're down 3-0 against Italy right now. It's only like the second inning, so they definitely have time to come back. But I mean, yeah, you just look at their roster. USA is super good.
Yeah.
favored to win the tournament, although that might be a little biased, but whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah. Japan also, they have been insanely good. They mercy ruled Chinese Taipei.
Type A, yeah.
Yeah, Taipei, whatever. And they mercy ruled Czech Czech Republic, yes. So Czech Republic's been really bad. They got regulated, but Dominican, they've been really good.
Yeah.
Panama versus I think it was Colombia. That was a good game to watch. There's been a few walk-off home runs.
I'm surprised the team Venezuela hasn't been kind of in that kind of like I kind of feel like they're like the top of like tier two, you know? Because like tier
Yeah,
one, you got those three teams, right? You got Japan, USA, and the Dominican, right?
yeah,
I kind of thought that Venezuela would be kind of top of like with Mexico, right? As kind of that top tier two.
yeah. They are 3-0, so
I mean, yeah, we'll see, I guess,
they
once we actually get to the tournament part.
yeah, it'll really be telling tomorrow because they play Cuba and they're both 3-0, so that'll be for like
Yeah,
the pool, whatever pool they're in, B, I think.
yeah,
So that would be a fun game to watch. Either way, they're advancing, I think. So that's really just for like who wins it. But
yeah, for sure.
Venezuela, yeah, they're not terrible. They have Contreras and Churio. Um, yeah. So, but yeah, I'd agree they're like top of tier two probably.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Because I don't look at it as like best team. I just look at it as like tiers, you know?
Yeah,
Like
that's
same thing with like college football, where it's like which one's better, Big Ten, SEC? I'm kind of like, well, it's Big Ten, SEC, and then then behind it is those other three, right? Like
yeah.
so that's kind of how I look at it like that. So anything else? Fun fact about World Baseball Classic? Maybe some look out for.
Um,
Sneaky good team.
Sneaky good team. Ooh. Korea, they kind of held their own against Japan, and they advanced to the second round, whatever, quarterfinal. So, I mean, there's not like many notable names on Korea. Hyunjin Ryu, who retired like a few years ago, but I don't know. They might do something if they
You
get a few lucky hits against Japan and beat them. That would be a huge surprise, honestly. So,
never know. I mean, it's just one game, right? Like anything can happen
yeah,
in one game of baseball. So
definitely.
it's interesting to see. But I guess now it's time. It's Tuesday as we're filming this, 8:40 on a Tuesday. So sorry for that, James. But let's just get into our teams of the week, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a little bit since we've done this, so we're just gonna kind of go over, MLB, NFL, NBA, college basketball, the NHL, and college football. Kind of give you our thoughts, like who's the best team this week, like who's done the most, who's done the best, like what's been happening, who's just been doing the best in their respective sport. And I guess James, do you want to start us off with the MLB?
Yeah. In the MLB, we're not going with one of the 30 teams because, World Baseball Classic, just like we were talking about. Japan, I picked them for team of the week. I feel like they've been the most dominant. USA, like, yeah, they blew out their first two teams, but they weren't good. Japan, they were mercy ruling teams who mercy ruled other teams. So that's what I'm going off of. Playing really well. Otani, they have obviously.
Yeah,
Uh, Murakami, Yoshinobu, like,
Suzuki.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a stacked team all
yeah.
around
Absolutely.
for
For the
sure.
NFL, we have the Raiders. I mean, they've been doing the most in free agency so far, even with the Maxx Crosby stuff. Like they still have been very active and whatnot. So, got to give it to them. They've improved the most in these past 2 days. I feel like it's hard to disagree with that,
Yeah,
even without the Maxx Crosby. Like it, even if whatever they do, I feel like they're still gonna kind of come out of free agency with they doing the most. So that's why I have them as the number one team in the NFL this week.
yeah. Crazy to think that the Raiders are the team of the week. I mean,
For
if you said
sure.
that like 2 weeks ago, that would have been
You'd be like,
kind of
what?
insane. But yeah.
For sure.
Next up, though, for the NBA, we got the Heat, who have won like six in a row. and well, two of them were against the Nets, but they're still wins.
Hmm.
They beat the Hornets and they beat the Pistons. Pistons are super good, obviously.
Yeah.
And tonight, as we're recording this, Bam Adebayo is having an insane game. He had like 31 points in the first quarter. He
Wait, what?
currently has, yeah, he has 70 points right now.
Bam Adebayo, by the way, guys. Not we're not talking about some like 3-point shooter who got hot. We're talking about Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
So
that's
this is
holy
insane.
cow.
Um,
Yeah, they will definitely be beating the Wizards.
of course, it happens
Um,
against the Wizards. Like what?
yeah, but yeah. So crazy game by Bam. Heat are playing really well. Maybe they will sneak not in the play and they'll not be in
Yeah,
it for the first time in like 5 years.
because it seems like they're always in the plane. They're always like the 10 or whatever. They're always just doing that. So I mean that makes sense. For college basketball, we have Duke. I mean, number one team in the nation now. I mean, they beat up North Carolina. Like it was between them, Michigan, because Michigan was beating up on Michigan State. I don't know if you saw that insanely disrespectful
Oh
picture of
yeah.
that guy just dunking on, I don't know who it was, but just dunking on the Michigan State
Yeah.
guy's face is right by his crotch. It's like, what is
Yeah.
going on? Um, but I had to give it to Duke because Duke does have a tiebreaker on Michigan. So just gonna give it there. Considered Miami, Ohio, because they're undefeated and they're still being disrespected. They're still in the first four out for some reason. So felt like they need some a shout out, but I get
Yeah.
you can't really deny Duke. Duke, I mean that's their sport, right? They dominate basketball. Maybe you say lacrosse, but it's basketball. They're a basketball school, so this is what they do. And I mean, you got to. They're a team of the week. I mean,
Yeah.
they've had the best resume of the past week at any college basketball team.
Yeah. So over to the NHL, team of the week is the Stars. And their last 10, they're 9-0-1,
Which
which
is that's crazy. So for anyone who doesn't know, that it's wins, losses, and then overtime losses.
yeah, yeah,
So you get no points, obviously, for losing just right in regulation, but you do get 1 point for losing in overtime, which is why the point system's all weird for making playoffs because as long as you get to overtime, you still get a point. But that's a lot of points they've been stacking up. Um, I think they're second now, right in the Central
yeah,
as a record. Yeah, so I mean, getting this late push, where this late in the season is very beneficial. So
yeah.
good
I
for the
mean,
good for the Stars.
they beat the Flames since last Tuesday. They beat the Flames. They only lost by one to Avalanche. That was in shootout. Yeah.
Yeah, shootouts.
They beat
So
the Blackhawks and they are currently beating the Golden Knights. So,
yeah,
yeah,
so like, definitely keeping it up.
for sure.
And for our last team of the week, college football, not a lot's happened. It's off season. They're just kind of getting a spring ball, so we haven't seen any spring practices yet. But I think I have to give it to Oklahoma. They had three big four-star commits in the span of 2 days this week, so definitely good for them. Is Boomer Sooner? Is that are they back? Like, what are? I guess it'll be interesting. Like they obviously made it to the playoffs this year. So I mean, we'll see kind of what they do next. But they're our team of the week because they were the most active recruiter this week. And yeah, I mean, not much else to say for college football right now because
Yeah.
spring practices haven't quite started yet, like not televised ones, so can't give you feedback on that. But they're practicing like we just nothing you can really say except Sooners kind of had that
Yeah.
week in college football. No, I mean, there's obviously a lot we can cover with free agency, but that's kind of all James I kind of had wrote down today or had time for. But I guess, do you have something like one last thing you kind of want to share before we end it here?
Yeah. I mean, 3 days ago, Ozzy Albies hit a walk-off home run for the Netherlands, and that was the first walk-off home run in World Baseball Classic history of any
Wow,
game.
I never was actually how that's
Yeah.
crazy.
This is their sixth tournament too. So
There's
that
like never been
was
one.
yeah, insane for me to see. Also, Italy, it has runners at the corners now in the top of the third. So US might actually lose this game, but
I
it's
mean,
all good.
obviously you guys will know like when you listen to this.
That's
So
true.
we're gonna we're gonna go watch that.
Yeah.
And yeah, hope you guys are all having a good day, and we'll see you later.